Cletus. Cletus McFarland. Right front tire is down, and it looks like he's gotten into the wall. We stay green.
You can see the damage to the right side of that car.
Bristol was meant to be just another race night, but something happened that shocked everyone. Cletus McFarland, the YouTuber who became a racer, turned an ordinary start into the biggest story of the weekend. Fans weren't surprised by where he finished. They were shocked by what came after. It wasn't a win, but it was a big reveal that shook racing and left everyone wondering, what will he do next? Cletus, born Garrett Mitchell in Omaha, Nebraska, has never fit the traditional mold of a race car driver. His career started not with karting trophies or feeder series, but with a camera and an internet connection. In 2009, he launched a YouTube channel that grew into one of the most popular in the automotive world. By 2025, that channel had more than 4.39 million subscribers and nearly 2 billion views. Fans didn't just watch cars, they connected to his journey. And now that journey had led him here to Bristol Motor Speedway. This was his fourth ARCA Menard Series start of the year, following Daytona, Talladega, and Charlotte. Each race told a different story. Daytona ended in disappointment, a 30th place finish after multi-car wrecks. Talladega was a breakthrough where he impressed everyone with a top 10. Charlotte brought controversy when he triggered a restart crash, but he bounced back for 9th, his career best. Each stop along the way built anticipation for what would happen next. Bristol was different. Known as the last great Coliseum, the short track is one of the toughest tests in all of racing. Cletus wasn't new to the venue. His Cletus and Cars events had filled its high banks with spectacle before. He had raced Ford Crown Victorias there on both dirt and concrete, but never in an ARCA car. This was no exhibition. This was the ARCA Menard Series, under the lights. For most of the night, he hovered between 15th and 20th, careful but steady. Then came the first scare, a wreck on the front stretch between Andrew Patterson and Takuma Koga. Cletus had a perfect view as it unfolded, and more than 35,000 fans tuned in live through his onboard camera feed to see if he'd make it through. Somehow he did, escaping without a scratch. The drama wasn't over. With just over 20 laps left while fighting for 15th, his right front tire gave out. He brushed the wall, limped to pit road, and lost multiple laps. He eventually returned 7 laps down, still pushing until the checkered flag waved. He crossed the line in 17th. On paper, it was unremarkable, but the story was just starting. After the race, on pit road, came the shock. Cletus announced he wasn't done with ARCA. In fact, he was stepping up. In 2026, he would return for 8 to 10 races. Team co-owner Mark Rette confirmed the plan, hinting at possible super late model starts too. For a YouTuber once dismissed as a sideshow, this was a bold statement of intent. The response was immediate. Fans erupted online. The same audience that once tuned in for burnouts and drag racing was now glued to ARCA coverage. NASCAR insiders realized this wasn't temporary. Cletus was here to stay. His presence didn't just bring attention, it brought new fans, merging digital culture with traditional motorsport in real time. To see why this matters, look back at his career. He made icons out of cars like Leroy, the stripped-down Corvette, and Mullet, the drag racing El Camino. In 2020, he bought the abandoned DeSoto Speedway in Florida, renamed it Freedom Factory, and transformed it into a racing hub. Every step of his career has been about pushing limits and surprising doubters. Bristol was no exception. His 2025 ARCA season showed the same pattern. Daytona revealed the risks. Talladega revealed the potential. Charlotte revealed resilience. Bristol revealed vision. Now his 2026 plan shows ambition. A bigger schedule means more chances to grow, more time behind the wheel, and more opportunities to prove himself. The possible addition of super late models adds even more versatility. For ARCA, it means a massive new audience. For fans, it means more chances to see Cletus battle against names they've only read about. Reporters at Bristol captured just how clear his message was. "We're planning on coming back," Cletus said with conviction. It wasn't just a promise, it was a challenge to anyone doubting him. Mark Rette, co-owner of Rette-Jones Racing, reinforced that vision. To some, that sounded ambitious for a YouTuber. To Cletus, it sounded like the next logical step. Even during setbacks, he earned respect. His 9th place at Charlotte came despite crash damage from a restart pileup that he admitted was his fault. He cycled to the front when others pitted, made a mistake, owned up to it, and still finished strong. That kind of humility resonated with fans. At Talladega, his top 10 showed that when given a clean race, he had the speed to compete. Even his struggles at Daytona taught him lessons that carried forward. What makes his story more compelling is the way NASCAR embraced his presence. Allowing fans to ride along through his onboard camera stream was no small gesture. Beyond ARCA, his racing history adds to the intrigue. In 2022, he entered Stadium Super Trucks, nearly winning on debut at Long Beach before spinning on the final lap. At the Music City Grand Prix, he flipped after being squeezed into the wall, but came back a month later to host the trucks at his Bristol 1000 event, finishing on the podium. In drag racing, his El Camino mullet hit 222 miles per hour at the Haltech World Cup Finals, and his Corvette Leroy delivered stick-shift wins the following year. Each chapter proved he wasn't afraid to push himself into tougher arenas. Bristol was the latest step in that evolution. Brent Cruz may have taken the win, and Isaac Kitzmiller may have sealed the ARCA East title, but the headlines weren't only about them. They were about the YouTuber who finished 17th, yet left with the most buzz. Now, the questions linger. Can he keep pace with rising stars like Cruz and Queen? Can Rette-Jones Racing give him the tools to move beyond survival and into contention? And will his massive online audience stay invested when the grind of racing becomes tougher than the highlight reels? If his history proves anything, the answer is yes. Cletus has faced setbacks before, from wrecks to critics, and each time he's come back stronger. That resilience may be his biggest advantage as he transitions from outsider to serious competitor. The shock at Bristol wasn't about a tire blowout or a 17th place finish. It was about commitment. It was about drawing a line. Cletus McFarland isn't dabbling anymore. He's investing. And as his 2026 campaign looms, one truth is clear. If he's already surprised us this much, the next chapter could be even bigger.
With authority in the final round of 388.4 at 316.
Tony Stewart may have made a name for himself as a NASCAR legend, but this time it's his wife, Leah Pruett, who's making headlines, and not just for returning to the track. After stepping away from racing to start a family, Leah has just dropped a major bombshell that's sending shockwaves through the NHRA world. Leah Pruett, a 12-time NHRA Top Fuel winner and one of the fiercest competitors in drag racing, is officially making her return to the cockpit in 2026. After taking a break in 2024 to focus on motherhood, she's coming back with more fire than ever, and the timing couldn't be more perfect. Pruett and Stewart welcomed their first child, Dominic, in November 2024. The couple's journey into parenthood was a major chapter in their lives, one that Leah embraced fully. But if anyone thought she was done with racing, they clearly didn't know the real Leah Pruett. Her return isn't just a comeback, it's a statement. During her time away from the driver's seat, Pruett didn't just sit back and relax. Instead, she took on a major role within Tony Stewart Racing, TSR, working closely with marketing partners, leading technical development projects, and staying deeply involved in operations. She wasn't racing, but she was very much in the game. In fact, Leah tested in Richmond earlier this year, a move that reignited her passion for driving. The heat was sweltering, nearly 99 degrees, with track temperatures hitting 146, but she couldn't care less. After 499 days away, she strapped into a 12,000 horsepower dragster and proved to everyone, including herself, that Racer Leah was still alive and thriving. Leah explained, "Trust me, I didn't care that we were testing in some of the nastiest conditions ever. It felt incredibly good to knock the rust off. This test day had been in the works for months, and just like that, the fire was back." This announcement was made official on September 9th, 2025. And the reaction from the motorsports world? Explosive. Everyone from Dodge CEO Matt McAleer to fans across the country expressed excitement at the news. McAleer put it bluntly, "Tony has always said it was Leah's race car. We totally support the Stewarts' decision and look forward to a successful future." Even more striking was the humility and respect between Leah and Tony. Throughout her hiatus, Tony Stewart stepped up to pilot the team's Top Fuel dragster. A NASCAR Hall of Famer by trade, Stewart adapted remarkably to NHRA racing. In just his second full season, he claimed 2 wins and the 2025 regular season title. But he always knew the car wasn't truly his. This was always the plan. The timing was up to her, Stewart said. He admitted he'll miss being behind the wheel, but made it clear that supporting Leah was always priority number 1. Leah echoed the sentiment. "Tony has done an incredible job behind the wheel, as many would expect," she said. "But I know how much he's devoted himself to being the best driver replacement he can be, and I couldn't be more proud and thankful for him." So what's next for Tony Stewart? That's the big question. While Leah gears up for her 2026 return, Tony has been open about not finalizing his own plans yet. "We've got some irons in the fire," he said, hinting at ongoing conversations with multiple racing teams. But one thing's for sure, he's going to feel that itch to get back into something fast. What adds even more intrigue is the couple's dynamic on and off the track. Stewart once joked that racing against his wife would be a no-win situation, and he's not wrong. Leah herself laughed it off, saying, "I don't think that's a hard and fast no. Still, the cost and effort of running a 2-dragster team means that, for now, the possibility of racing head-to-head remains just that, a possibility." Pruett's return is about more than just another driver getting back on the track. It's a story of resilience, ambition, and defying the notion that motherhood must come at the cost of one's passion. She's not stepping back into the sport out of nostalgia, she's coming back to win. Her past record proves she's a force to be reckoned with. Before stepping away, Pruett finished 3rd in the 2023 NHRA season standings and had been climbing the ranks with an intensity matched by few. Now, with renewed motivation and a deeper sense of purpose, she's aiming higher than ever. And she's not alone. Other mothers in NHRA, like Alexis DeJoria and Angel Sampi, have shown that raising a family doesn't mean saying goodbye to elite performance. But Pruett is in rare air, balancing new motherhood with the demands of a 12,000-horsepower rocket on wheels. What makes her return even more compelling is how she prepared for it. From optimizing tuning systems to packing parachutes, yes, while still breastfeeding, Leah stayed connected to every gritty detail of race day life. She wasn't just preparing her body for the return, she was keeping her mind razor sharp. Leah also addressed something many female athletes quietly face: identity. "I wanted to make sure I didn't have an identity crisis," she said. Staying involved with TSR during her hiatus helped her stay grounded in who she was, both as a mother and as a racer. In many ways, this comeback is about more than just racing. It's about the message it sends to women in sports and beyond, that you don't have to choose between being a parent and pursuing your passion. Leah's journey has become a blueprint for resilience, partnership, and ambition. With the 2026 NHRA season on the horizon, the anticipation is sky high. The season will kick off March 5th through 8th at Gainesville, Florida, and fans are already counting down the days. Pruett's comeback isn't just a personal milestone, it's shaping up to be the storyline of the year. But even as she gears up for battle, her gratitude remains front and center. "I'd first like to thank Tony, the team, and our partners for allowing me the necessary time to start our family, learn motherhood, and welcome me back. Her team is behind her, her fans are behind her, and most importantly, her family is behind her. That's a recipe for something special." As for the NHRA landscape, Leah's return is likely to shake things up in a major way. With her deep technical knowledge, strong fan following, and unmatched drive, she's stepping into a field that's already fiercely competitive and making it even more intense. The top fuel category won't know what hit it. And with Tony Stewart potentially stepping into a new role, whether behind the scenes or back in another series, the Stewart-Pruett household might be at the center of racing's next big era. One thing is certain: when these two move, the motorsports world pays attention. What happens next in this high-octane saga is anyone's guess. Will Leah dominate the top fuel ranks once again? Will Tony return to another racing discipline? Or maybe even build a second TSR dragster for himself? No one knows yet. But what's clear is this: Leah Pruett's bombshell announcement has just reignited the fire in NHRA, and she's ready to make some serious noise. This is a powerful move and a bold reminder that real racers never lose the fire. They just wait for the right moment to strike. And Leah Pruett's moment, it starts in 2026.
I would get asked all the time, what your dad taught you about X, Y, and Z, and we never talked about racing.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Never. Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt Sr. was a NASCAR legend, but now his name is at the center of a $30 billion land battle that's tearing his family apart. What's really happening on the land he left behind, and why is everyone so divided? At the center of the controversy is Teresa Earnhardt, the widow of Dale Sr., who is pushing forward a proposal to rezone nearly 400 acres of the family's land from rural residential to industrial. Her goal is to turn the area into a technology hub, branded as the Mooresville Technology Park, promising economic growth and futuristic development. But her stepson, Kerry Earnhardt, the eldest of Dale Sr.'s children, has publicly condemned the plan. And his words have sparked a firestorm. Kerry didn't hold back. Kerry Earnhardt wrote on X, "Dad would be livid. His name is associated in this title. Data centers don't belong in neighborhoods. Natural resources are depleted. Wildlife uprooted. The landscape, lives that call this home, forever changed. Build homes. W people loving the land we live as land it's intended." His message struck a nerve with both fans and residents. Kerry's comments didn't just come out of nowhere. This is far from the first clash between Teresa and the children of Dale Earnhardt. Longtime NASCAR fans will remember the years of conflict following Dale Sr.'s death. Teresa had inherited control of Dale Earnhardt Inc., DEI, and disputes quickly arose over ownership rights, branding, and the direction of the business. One of the most publicized battles involved Dale Earnhardt Jr., who eventually left DEI in 2007 after failing to gain controlling interest. He also had to give up the iconic number 8 font that his father had made famous. Now, with this latest development plan, old wounds are reopening. Local opposition to the rezoning is growing. Residents of Mooresville are voicing serious concerns about what a massive data center would do to their environment and lifestyle. They worry about groundwater depletion, increased traffic, noise pollution, and the displacement of wildlife. They've begun organizing protests and gathering signatures. Over 1,700 people have already signed a petition opposing the project, and public meetings are expected to be heated. Some locals are pointing to other data centers around the country as cautionary tales. In nearby regions, communities have reported problems like dried-up wells and empty job promises after similar developments were approved. Despite the promise of economic benefits and job creation, many fear that the Mooresville project will benefit outside investors more than the local population. NASCAR fans have not stayed silent either. On social media, supporters of the Earnhardt family legacy are calling on Dale Jr. to speak out in defense of his brother Kerry and stand against Teresa's plan. Many see this as a defining moment, one that could permanently stain the Earnhardt name if the land is industrialized. Fan forums are erupting with outrage. Some have even revived the unflattering nickname once used for Teresa. "I'm so sick of Teresa being this money witch." Despite the growing public pressure, Teresa has remained quiet, letting the legal and zoning process play out. The Mooresville Planning Board already approved an initial recommendation with a narrow 4-3 vote back in May. The next major date is August 4th, when the Mooresville Board of Commissioners will decide whether to hold a final public hearing. If approved, the final vote is expected to take place on September 15th, when the board typically makes its decision that same evening. Kerry Earnhardt will attend Monday's meeting, the Charlotte Observer reported. "I look forward to Monday's meeting at the Mooresville Town Hall," he posted on his Facebook page. Kerry Earnhardt has vowed to keep fighting. His social media post wasn't a one-time rant, it was a call to action. He has continued to speak with local residents, attend planning meetings, and encourage people to get involved. His goal is clear: stop the rezoning, protect his father's land, and keep the Earnhardt name associated with values he believes Dale Sr. held dear. This dispute goes beyond just land use or property rights. It represents a deeper struggle between preserving a legacy and chasing economic development. For fans of Dale Earnhardt Sr., he wasn't just a driver. He was a symbol of grit, hard work, and a deep connection to his roots. The thought of turning his old farmland into an industrial zone feels like a betrayal to many who admired him. The financial scale of the proposed data center adds another layer of controversy. $30 billion is a staggering figure. Supporters of the project argue that it would transform the region, bring in tax revenue, and put Mooresville on the map as a tech destination. But opponents say no amount of money is worth sacrificing the natural beauty and heritage of the area, and they believe Dale Earnhardt Sr. would have agreed. It's unclear where Dale Jr. and Kelly Earnhardt Miller truly stand on the issue. While they haven't publicly condemned the plan like Kerry, their silence hasn't gone unnoticed. Many fans are watching closely, waiting to see whether Dale Jr. will support his brother or remain on the sidelines. The pressure is mounting, especially as the public narrative continues to build. What makes this all the more emotional is that the land in question isn't just any property. It's where Dale Sr. spent much of his life. It's where he hunted, rode four-wheelers, and connected with the natural world away from the racetrack. For Kerry and many others, developing it into a data center isn't just development, it's erasure. The land itself has long been a physical representation of who Dale Sr. was off the track. It was a place